Blackpool. There's nowhere quite like it, especially the first time you visit. The bracing sea air on the promenade, well, perhaps not to everyone's liking. But the golden sands and the famous landmark of Blackpool Tower are loved by British holidaymakers, whatever the season. The same arcade games that we enjoyed as children are enjoyed just as much today. And Blackpool rock still comes in all shapes and sizes. Another old favourite is the dodgems. Jacob's legs weren't long enough to reach the foot pedal, so he's giving instructions to Millie on where to steer. They're both having great fun. And then we all went off to the pleasure beach and all the rides up there. It's a good job Millie had her raincoat on. Next up, it's the Big Dipper, and they're the smallest ones on it. They must have been on their tiptoes going past the height gauge. In less than a minute, they're back at the start. All excited and telling Granny all about it. Have they found a more sedate ride this time? A cruise on the Lost River? Well, it seemed that way. Gently bobbing along in the log boat. But no chance. Millie and Jacob loved to make a big splash entrance. And they did. No, they didn't go on this, but they would have if they would let them. As night fell, the wind increased and added some unintended movement to the famous illuminations. The weather didn't deter the visitors from driving along the seafront to see the displays. We walked for part of the way so that we could get a good view of the lights. We had two must-do things left to do before we went home. One was to ride on a tram, and the other was to go to the top of the tower. You haven't been to Blackpool if you don't do these.
We'll be travelling to a height of 380 feet and it will only take us 69 seconds to get there. When we get to the top of the tower you'll be met by the skywalk, which is 5 centimetres thick, triple laminated, and each pane has been tested for 5 tons in weight.
Look at the lights!
If you don't want to stand on the glass though, you don't have to. As soon as you come out the lift, just make a left or right and you can avoid the glass till you're brave enough later on.
Look!
We do also have 3 outer levels open for you today, just the blue spiral staircases. As you can tell from the weather, it is very wet and windy out there, so please just watch your step. And there is strictly no smoking at the top of the tower if it does apply to anyone. And as you can tell from the scaffolding around the...
It was wet and windy up there, but definitely worth going up. There were spectacular views in all directions through the large windows, including straight down when you stood on the glass floor. And we end our mini holiday with a view down the Golden Mile from the very top of Blackpool Tower.